So since we're all stuck at home self-quarantine, I guess this does give me the opportunity to make another YouTube video. So I guess that's one good thing. But seriously, for all those people out there who are struggling with this, I know a lot of people are talking about being safe and staying healthy and all that kind of stuff, but no one's really talking about the financial burdens that people are going through right now, myself included. I'm working a lot less now, obviously, that's why I have time. But if you are going through stuff like that, I hope you get through it. I hope you have some money saved up so you can pay off your bills and things like that, and you are managing to get past this without too much damage at the end. So hopefully you're doing all right. But anyway, let's get into today's video, which is how you can set up your own overhead camera rig like this right here for only about 50 to 60 bucks. So for my personal rig, I took a lot of ideas from Caleb Pike, which I hope is his last name, from DSLR Video Shooter. He actually did a video on how you can do an all-in-one desk setup. And I initially did something similar to that and kind of just customize it to fit my own personal needs. So what I actually did is use a Wally VESA mount monitor stand. That's what you can see right here. This is one of the arms from that VESA mount monitor stand system. And I kind of converted it just like Caleb did in his video to be used for camera gear. But anyway, what you see here is one of the arms from this VESA monitor mount system. This is the one that comes free in the box with the main stand that I'm going to show you here in a second. Now you can buy this 2-tier arm separately. One does come included with the main base of this whole system, but if you want to pick up additional ones, you can. But I'd highly recommend, if you're trying to use this for an overhead camera rig like this here, then buy the 3-tier arm. The 3-tier arm is going to give you a lot more reach, so you can actually arrange your overhead camera rig to be pretty much anywhere on your desk, your table, whatever you're using. So you have a lot more flexibility on where you can aim your camera at. Also keep in mind that since these are made for VESA monitor mounts, they're going to have this little piece here originally attached to the end, and you're kind of just going to have to pry that out with whatever you can find. Mine is actually kind of jammed because I pried it out pretty aggressively, but it's originally going to be jammed in there. You're going to have access to it through this hole, which you're going to have to also unscrew this main piece here. And it's not difficult. It's just going to take a little bit of alcohol grease, and it comes with the tools you need to do it. It comes with these 2 little Allen keys here, so you can use whichever one is for this screw. I think it's the smaller one. Unscrew that. It is a bit of a hassle because it's going to be constantly moving against you because it's all just, you know, joint arms. But once you get that out of there, it should be pretty simple and easy to get this other smaller piece out there. You can also use these guys to kind of just pry it out like that, or use a flathead screwdriver. Something similar to this would work fine. And all you're gonna do is just unscrew this, pry this guy out, and now you finally have access to the main holes that you're going to need. Now in Caleb's video, he actually did say that you would have to drill an additional hole, or at least expand the existing hole that's on this monitor arm already, so that you can fit I think it's a 3/8 screw into the bottom of it. But you do not need to do that. You actually can just pick up these set of a bunch of different screws and adapters for photography equipment. But once you have this, you can actually work your way around that requirement to drill a bigger hole. As you can see here, this is not everything, and I've kind of added some stuff to this bag as well, because this is kind of my general screws and adapters bag that I have for all my other stuff. But this bag does include a lot of things you're gonna need. So it's gonna include one of these 1/4-20 screws with a nice little handle, so it's easy to use, that you're going to need to actually insert into the bottom of this monitor arm. You're also gonna need one of these 3/8 to 1/4-20 adapters. If you're using a ball head or any other kind of tripod head that doesn't have a 1/4-20 mount at the bottom, you're gonna have to convert that 3/8 mount to a 1/4-20 so that this screw would actually work. This is actually a great investment to have just in general if you're into videography or photography, because you're always gonna need these kind of adapters and screws no matter what. And then you can see clearly there that it goes in no problem at all. The 1/4-20 works fine. The 3/8 screw will not work that well. You can fit a very thin flathead screwdriver at the bottom here, so you can tighten up really nice and tight so you don't have to worry about it slipping off. But now that we got through all those little requirements, let's actually show you the setup so you can see what it's gonna look like once you're all done, and I can walk you through the process a little bit. It's not gonna look that great. I don't have really good lighting over here. I'll try to arrange stuff, but just this is my setup, and I think showing you the finished product, because it's all very straightforward, is more useful than doing it piece by piece. So as you can see here, it's just a ball head attached to the end of this monitor arm, and this is a 3-tiered monitor arm. As you can see here, it gives you a lot more flexibility to move your camera around and arrange it in a position that you actually like. This is an A6400 with the Rode Wireless Go. That's how I'm recording my audio right now. And then the Tamron 28-75 on there. as well as my Deity D3 Pro. This also works as a great boom stand. Since this camera is gonna be much closer to you, you can actually just use this also to rig up your microphone if you wanna do it that way, instead of having a separate arm for your boom pole as well. Really nice, compact. It keeps a lot of stands out of the way, and that's one of the main reasons why I went with this setup instead of, you know, a traditional overhead C-stand thing like that. I didn't want to do all that. Now, like I was saying earlier, this is just a regular ball head, nothing fancy. You can get this on any cheap tripod you find out there, attached with the quarter 20 screw at the bottom. And I just used that adapter that I was showing you guys earlier, the 3/8 to quarter 20 adapter, to put at the bottom of this ball head because it was a 3/8 mount, and then use that to go and bypass the need to drill a bigger hole. And you don't need to do anything crazy. Honestly, it's just a screw into your ball head at the very end of this monitor arm, and it works perfectly fine. This is the back side here. Again, you can see really simple setup. And the nice thing about these monitor arms is they come with these little cable organizers. Let me find a better one. These cable organizers that really let you keep your whole setup nice and tidy. You can run all your cables through that, nothing's flying around on you. And another good thing about these monitor mounts are they're designed to carry a lot of weight. So you don't have to worry about it, you know, breaking on you or falling apart. Like, they're designed to carry pretty heavy monitors. So what is that? Probably like a 3 to 5 pound camera with the microphone. That's not going to, you know, even reach the maximum amount of weight this thing can handle. And down here you can see just the setup for the actual main base. You're gonna be using this giant pole. There are different sizes of this pole available. Make sure you get the tallest one because you want the most amount of headroom so you can actually reach over yourself and not catch this camera in your main camera, which I'm using now, but it usually is right there. Anyway, yeah, so you want to get the largest or longest pole you can find so that you can have that, you know, range above you. And also, since this is just a monitor mount and they're super straightforward and easy, if you ever do need to raise it or lower it, it's just one Allen wrench. You untwist that, you can raise it or lower it to whatever height you specifically need. And also, if you really love your desk and you don't want to ruin it forever, these things do come with padding at the very bottom. So all it is just a screw with a plate there, a really wide plate. Let's see if it can focus. There you go. A wide base plate here, so when you're clamping it onto your desk, it's not gonna, you know, make an indent there. It should, in theory, I haven't taken it off yet, but it should, you know, leave a pretty like low impression. It's not gonna mess up your desk or anything like that. So just a good sweeping shot of the whole thing here. Once you do have this all set up in a position that you want and you know you're not gonna change very often or ever, you can just go in here. Again, take one of your Allen keys, the appropriate Allen keys that it comes with, and then grab like a wrench or something similar to that, clamp onto here, and then just tighten it up so it's pretty much impossible to move on its own unless you like really put some force on it, so that it stays and you don't have to worry about it constantly being adjusted or anything like that. It just stays in its one position. It's good to go, so you can take your camera on and off if you need it for something else. So that's my overhead rig setup. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I mean, if you ever used the VESA mount monitor arm before, it's essentially just setting that up and then modifying it slightly to fit your needs for camera use. If you're just looking to use it as an overhead camera rig, it works perfectly. I highly recommend it. It's really cheap compared to buying a C-stand and something like that. So hopefully that was helpful for someone out there. I know this video is kind of all over the place. I haven't done too many of these setup teardown style videos, but if you liked it, if you thought it was useful, please leave me a comment down below. If you have another idea for even more cost-effective, simple way to do an overhead camera rig, please let me know, because I'm always looking for different ways to rig up my entire studio. So I really appreciate any tips or tricks you guys may have. And if you really like the video, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. I'll probably be doing more videos like this since we're all stuck at home still. But as always, my name is Joshua Joe Munoz. Stay sexy, and I'll see you sometime.